Hi and good evening to all the listeners. I, Pankaj Malhotra, on behalf of my team and my company Elan, wish you all a very happy new year. We hope and pray that this year brings lots of success, good health, learning, and prosperity for everyone. We at Elan have always believed that skill development is the key to success, and we are on a mission to provide maximum learning and value to all so that you get the right knowledge, guidance, and learning for all the success you deserve. Taking it forward, we have another very special guest with us today. He started his career as an intern with Lifestyle and later joined the same company in their magazine department as assistant manager. Joined SpiceJet Airlines in 2007 as a customer service executive, and an year later joined Bangalore International Airport as operations assistant. In the year 2010, he joined Jet Airways as a cabin crew and later was with Cathay Pacific Airways as a business class crew. 2013, he joined Etihad Airways based in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Started there as a cabin crew and was promoted as a food and beverage manager, then to safety trainer, and so on. And today, he is working with Etihad Airways as a cabin senior and is a member of Crew Engagement Committee. A true inspiration and mentor, I am glad to welcome Mr. Abhinav Bhatia today. Good evening, Mr. Bhatia. It's a pleasure having you with us today.
Mr. Malhotra, thank you so much for a wonderful introduction, and thank you for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Bhatia. How have you been?
I'm very well, thank you so much. And first of all, wish you a very happy new year, and to all the listeners, a very happy new year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhatia. Listeners, I thank you for coming over here, taking out time. So how's the weather out over there?
It's a wonderful weather in UAE at the moment. We are into the winters, and it has been a wonderful starting off for 2021. And I look and wish and pray that this year should be a wonderful for all listeners, and to you and to every people out there in this world.
Thank you so much, and we wish, we hope, we pray the same for everybody. So Mr. Bhatia, I know that you have to rush for another meeting. So if you permit, can we start up with our question and answer session?
Please, Mr. Malhotra, thank you.
So before we start up, I would just like to request that if you can just share a little bit with our audience. Joined SpiceJet as a customer service executive and then happened to become a cabin crew, and now you're flying international. So that's a great journey. So I hope all the listeners would be very, very keen to listen to your journey over here.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra. It's indeed has been a wonderful experience in aviation industry. As you mentioned, yes, I did start in my career in 2007 with aviation industry in SpiceJet, starting with a customer service executive. It was a pretty initial startup for me into an aviation industry, and SpiceJet gave me that opportunity to learn with every single work atmosphere at the airport level with a part of an airline. It was a wonderful working with them in different departments. You know, when you work as a ground staff, you work with different departments in an airline. And eventually, yes, I had an opportunity to become a cabin crew initially with Jet Airways, where I was a cabin crew and then became a cabin crew in charge. And then lately, I joined Cathay Pacific, which was based in Hong Kong. I was there working as a business class cabin crew. And a wonderful experience started in 2013 when I joined Etihad Airways, and I started with a regular cabin crew, got promoted as a senior cabin crew. Then there I was a food and beverage manager. I had a wonderful experience being a part-time safety training and also being a part-time crew controller. And journey got even better when I became a cabin senior, which is a cabin manager on a 320 fleet. And now at the moment, I'm working as a Etihad Crew Engagement Committee member. So far, the experiences and the knowledge that I could learn from aviation was wonderful, and I look forward to continue learning my experiences and grow more in this industry.
Wow, that's been a great journey, and that is the reason I said that you are a true inspiration and mentor, and I hope the listeners would be enjoying listening to this. And a lot of people, they do not know, Mr. Bhatia, that I also started my career as a ground staff, as a customer service executive. That was way back in 2001 with Jet Airways. Then I got a chance to start my and so on. So I think again, as we believe in learning, in progressing, there is a message for all the listeners that whatever I would say career options you are coming up with, please go and grab it. Do not wait that this thing would come, and then only you'll be starting your career. What is your say on this, Mr. Bhatia?
I totally agree to that, Mr. Malhotra. It is very important to understand that opportunity doesn't knock your door every day, and having experience is only possible when you step into something and then learn from there and then earn that experience. So even to the listeners, I would like to say the same thing. If an opportunity is there at your door, it is for you to go ahead and make the best out of it, and then you can have the unlimited of experience and take that learning. And I believe if I could make wonders, everybody out there can do that. So,
very well said, Mr. Bhatia. And Mr. Bhatia, before we start up with our question and answer session, to know that you're working with Etihad as a cabin senior, and you are also a member of Crew Engagement Committee. So, what is this Crew Engagement Committee all about?
Well, to be in a simple words for the listeners to understand, that basically a crew engagement committee works between the company and the pilots and the cabin crew department. We are basically the frontiers for cabin crew and pilots, where we negotiate any concerns. And if any department of pilots and cabin crew have any concerns, we are the one who becomes a communicator between the company and the third party. At the same time, we try and motivate. We have leaders team, we have care team, where we actually initiate any concerns, any support that the cabin crew and the pilot department needs. And if any concerns that has been raised by the company and they want to justify this thing, the cabin crew engagement committee steps in there and try to negotiate and bring the best for the company and for the cabin crew and the pilots community.
Wow. So basically, in simple words, I'll say that you are acting as a bridge in between the company and the crew members over there.
Absolutely right.
Wow, so that's a huge responsibility. All right, thank you for that, Mr. Bhatia. All right, Mr. Bhatia. So we'll start up with our questions. So the first question for today is that what I wanted to know, that what is the basic difference in flying domestic airlines and in international airlines? So them.
Well, I can definitely answer you that, Mr. Malhotra. Being an ex-domestic Indian carrier flyer and then working internationally, the basic difference that makes international flyer and domestic flyer, because in India, all the domestic carriers, they have specific base. For example, some airlines have base in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and maybe a smaller destination like Ahmedabad, or probably they have in Gurgaon. So what happens is with all these domestic airlines, the crew might not have an opportunity to work with different places. They might probably do a turnaround flight. For example, they might fly from Delhi to Bangalore, and they might just come back immediately from Bangalore to Delhi. And you are limited with your resources of flying because you're going to fly only in number of destinations based in India. But when it comes to international flying, the major thing makes a difference, the culture difference. You're going to might be working with different nationality. For example, I'm working in Etihad Airways, and we have over 196 nationalities working with us together in the same place. So in an international, you actually get to experience with different culture people. How are you going to work? You might have to travel to different countries. You have to stay there. You need to understand the culture of the people who might be traveling with you on board an aircraft. That makes a huge difference flying in a domestic and an international airline. So that's one thing. Secondly, what gives you a bigger exposure is that when you travel or you work as an international cabin crew, you get exposed to travel to so many destination which probably must be a dream destination to visit. You get to explore that. So that makes a big difference for people out there.
Whoa. So that means almost 196 countries representatives are working at the same place. Wow, that's great. So how do you there would be thousands of crew members over there, so it's gonna be party every day, right?
Well, trust me, when you work with the same set of people but coming from a different nationality and different culture, different vocabulary, different languages, it makes a wonderful place to work. You learn so much about different people out there, whether they're coming from England, whether they're coming from Korea, China, Japan. Even we have a crew working from Pakistan. So, you learn so much about it, and it's a wonderful place to work because you maintain that professional attitude. At the same time, you have a family background around where you feel friendly to work with people out there.
Oh, that's great, Mr. Bhatia. Thank you for that, Mr. Bhatia. So we come up to the second question for today. I wanted to know what extra preparation shall be done by a fresher if he or she wants to apply for an international airlines interview.
Right. Very importantly, a certain standard has been decided in most of the international airline. The first thing, foremost thing is that on an international carrier, most of the international carrier, for example, Etihad Airways, they take a requirement of minimum 21 years old. They prefer having a background of education coming from at least a bachelor's degree. This is a minimum, but there are some choices where if you have done a certain number of diplomas, they still entertain you to be a part of the interview. Apart from that, it is also important that you have some kind of experience. Having a hospitality background experience makes so much more difference because you understand the culture, what you're going to do on board an aircraft. So if you're having some kind of experience from hospitality industry, it makes it wonderful. Even if you're coming from a background of aviation school, like the one you have exactly with yourself, the Ian. So it's wonderful to have an experience, because if people are coming to an international airline with some kind of background of education or hospitality industry, it makes much more easier for them to pass through the interview.
So, Mr. Bhatia, over here, I just wanted to clarify one more thing for all the listeners. Like, for example, somebody is minimum, as we discussed, that 21 is the minimum age required. And if they do not have a degree, but they have a diploma, say, for example, they have a cabin crew diploma, are they eligible to apply over there?
Yes, they are. See, as I mentioned before, as far as you have any kind of educational background from aviation industry, they do still accept people's interview. That's basically because you have an understanding about it. For example, there are a lot of students out, let's say, for example, in India, they come from finishing their 12th standard, and they probably want to do some diploma courses into aviation, and they are still valid to apply for international carriers.
All right. Thank you so much for the information, Mr. Bhatia. I'm sure that a lot of people would get a lot of clarity by all these discussions over here. So thank you so much once again. Mr. Bhatia, we come up to the third question. I just wanted to know, you're already working with Etihad since long. So if we talk about Etihad Airways over here, what kind of skills does Etihad Airways look for when they are hiring a cabin?
Mr. Malhotra, the important thing for Etihad Airways, what I have looked around so far with all the cabin crew that we have, is definitely to have that people personality. It is very important that you need to be a people person, because you are in day out going to be interacting, communicating with different nationalities, different culture people. So that is one thing. You need to be a friendly. At the same time, you need to have that professionalism in you to be out there. Secondly, it is very important you to have that character to adopt yourself with different time zone. So the first thing, they always look forward that you will be able to work it at any given point in time, because there are flights at midnight, there are flights at early in the morning at 4. So that's one criteria they're looking forward, that one person should be able to adapt themselves based on the requirement of its duties. Secondly, they of course want people to have that professional attitude when they are coming for an interview. They actually judge you from the first step you take into the place of an interview, how you put up your image in front of the interviewers, how you carry yourself, your personality, how you talk, how you connect with people. All these factors are considered, especially in Etihad Airways, when they interview people.
Great. So all the listeners out over there, we've been discussing this in the past as well, and I hope and I think that you've got a lot of clarity again. Soft skills, very, very important. Please, guys, anybody who wants to apply as a cabin crew, or for that matter, for any other position as well, you have to develop your skills. You have to work hard over here. So please do that. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhatia, again.
You're welcome, Mr. Malhotra.
So, Mr. Bhatia, we come up to the next question over here. If we talk about Etihad Airways again, what is the minimum height and minimum age we've already discussed? So, what is the minimum height which is required for a cabin crew in terms of, say, for boys and for girls?
Well, for Etihad Airways, we do not have differences in terms of specific height limitations. However, we have a minimum requirement out here is 212 centimeter, which is approximately your hand should be able to touch a roof of 6.5 feet. So we do not differentiate that for a boy, because when you're working in an international atmosphere, especially like example Etihad Airways, we have Serbian crew who are tall as 6 feet 2 inches. So to balance it out for all the nationalities who like to apply in Etihad Airways, they have a requirement of 212 centimeter. So when you stand, you should be able to stretch your hand to 6.5 feet. So that's a minimum requirement. Making it more simpler and understanding for the listeners, it's basically you have a lot of safety equipments and your daily routine duties where you should be able to extend your hand to up to 6.5 feet to do any kind of emergency duties or when you're performing your regular flights. So that's a requirement that Etihad is looking for.
All right, Mr. Bhatia, thank you so much once again. And Mr. Bhatia, coming up to the last question, what I wanted to know that we all know that swimming is not mandatory when it comes to the domestic airlines over here in India. So when we talk about Etihad, is swimming mandatory for a candidate to apply for Etihad Airways?
Now, I think I have good news for the listeners. Actually, in Etihad, it's not mandatory to swim. However, when we perform during our safety training, we do this flotation training where one specific person should be able to float with the life jacket with any of the equipment or with the person. So there is an intense training given by Etihad Airways during the safety training where swimming is a part of its training, but with the life jacket. So swimming is not mandatory.
That's a good news because a lot of international airlines, I also know that swimming is mandatory. So this is a good news for all the people who do not know swimming over here. Thank you so much for the clarity again, Mr. Bhatia. All right. So, Mr. Bhatia, we come to the end of this question and answer session with you. It was a pleasure speaking with you. So we say bye-bye. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhatia, once again. And I would just request if you can give any message to us if we can improve our own selves in some way or the other.
Well, Mr. Malhotra, thank you on that. And I would like to tell to all the listeners to definitely join you over this podcast because it's very important the kind of journey you have started. You yourself are such an experienced person. And I think it's wonderful that how Elan is doing its work out there in India and different destinations. I believe you have in Delhi, you have in Kerala. I think for all the listeners, it is a great opportunity to join you because the learning here is endless. I have heard other speakers before. They have got immense amount of experience to share with you. And I personally believe that, nothing better than learning when there are people giving out the knowledge and experience. And that's how one can grow in their personal and professional life. So I think you're doing a wonderful job, Mr. Malhotra, giving out that exposure to youngsters and for the people in aviation industry who would like to come and join. And here the learning is endless. And I think it's a great initiative done by you. So thank you on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhatia, for the kind words. And we hope to have you again with us very soon. And we would love to have you and to chit chat with you again on our platform. So before we say bye-bye, I would just like to thank all our listeners once again. I would request everybody to please like and subscribe to our channel as it motivates us to bring more valuable content for you. So keep learning, keep growing, stay positive and safe, everyone. Wish you all a very happy 2021 once again. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mr. Bhatia.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra.